Welcome to Sawlogs Plastic Hubs. This is your buddy Jim, and we have a project for you today. So while you're getting comfortable, get your cold drink, get you propped up, get you squared up in front of the screen here, and come along with the virtual little work in the shop, and I'll give you a rundown right fast of what we're going to be doing. Today is one of these deals that I call as they always say, projects make projects. You'll be working on something and then an idea will come up. Hey, I need this. And so the genesis of today's video, the main focus of it, is going to be a new saw fixture to handle flat stock in the horizontal van saw. If you've watched some of my videos here recently where we've done work on blocks and stuff, the mill, we've used the other fixture that I made a while back. So I ended up getting a piece of steel and repurposing a clamp and making some stuff up. Nothing elaborate, but just something, go ahead and get it done. These fixtures are fairly simple. You'll hear about the details. Also, I've been having some video issues on the lathe and getting some feedback about that. We're going to try some new camera mounts and some of the lathe work that's done today. Actually, I made a little quick mount behind me to be able to use stuff. So I'm going to kind of bring you over here, and I might just stand up right quick. And if you might can see, this is a new camera mount. It's basically a Harbor Freight, and I've had most all the pieces I had. This one piece is drilled and tapped and modified. You'll see that in the video today too. So here's what we want you to do. Go get set down, get that cold drink in your hand, prop your feet up, stand back and watch me sling some steel. Let's get at it. Hey everybody, good morning. I've got a little bit of something to do today. I'm just kiddling this morning. The madam and my stepdaughter and all in town. This is the morning of the bash. I'm not in California, obviously. And there's a couple little projects that I want to get accomplished this morning. One of them, if you've been watching my videos here lately, I've been having some issues with some, maybe like camera mounts and such. Just not getting good quality lathe shots. So I'm going to try, I've tried one thing, it didn't work. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make me I've got an old Harbor Freight indicator stand, which is plenty good enough for what I'm fixing to do with it. And I took a piece of it off and cut it. It happens to be threaded on this end, obviously from our friends overseas metric. I'm going to thread this 1/4 and you'll see why in just a second. Okay, right there is what we got. This is indicator, the front's busted off, but it still works. It just don't look as pretty. So I've got screws in it to hold it. And so that's why I'm trying it out. This is my camera mount I've made before. I've used it in the lathe. Hopefully I can set this up and do work off the lathe to give us better shots. So we're going to try it today. What I'm starting on right now is another fixture plate for the saw. This is a 1/2 inch thick piece of this cold roll plate steel. My buddy Tom gifted it to me. I don't know where he got it from, or it's some metal supermarkets or the scrap yard. But so I'm going to saw it out here on the Craftsman because I need to get this sawed up. And what this is going to be eventually is a flat plate. So like the other day when I made the other tool with the but I just want to show you that this saw will actually cut some pretty hefty stuff. So you just have to be patient with it, but it does do a good job. This is still that I'm a machinist blade from Amazon. It's not a really good blade. I got a good blade that I bought for it. I was just wanting to get it running, and Amazon had that I'm a machinist. It's an import blade, and it's actually working fairly well. And it's been on here for a while. It's got a few bad teeth. I'm not going to bore you with sawing this whole thing up. I'll bring you back. Now, when I'm making something that's not what I'm going to call it has to be precise, I'm just making somewhat of a copy of this. Instead of doing a lot of thinking and measuring and all that good stuff, what I do is I just took this piece, laid it to the face here, and touched it, you know, so you can really can't see it by hand, and just eyeball it, set my work stop, and then I can just turn it. Fairly simple little idea. So now, I know I've got to be smaller than this diameter anyway, so I'm going to go grab me a caliper and get started here. Okay, this is going to be, should be my last OD pass. This doesn't have to be dead exact. If it's within 5-6 thousandths, it's just a, what this is going to be is a spacer bushing for my clamps, my other clamp that I'm going to be making. It's not a lot of complicated machining on this. It's a fairly simple fixture, and I'm just kind of making it up like my other one without the wales to it. And this is why if I'm trying to hit an exact number with my grizzly, I'll use an indicator. And here's why. The dials reads an inch. Lead screws are in metric, or they're metric pitch. I think they gear them somehow, at least the cross slide. And so if I'm trying to hit an exact number, that's why you see me get an indicator out. Like if I'm boring or something, you'll see that quite often. Okay, that's it. I'm going to run up here across the top of the OD while I've got it in the machine here. And I'm going to touch it. I'm just going to run a light skim cut just to clean the rust off. This doesn't matter what the size of this is, just to, so I'll have no rust there. Got it up close to the chuck. There. And then we'll break all the corners here in just a second. We'll drill it. All right, let's do this again. This is, like I say, this was already had a little center in it. It don't have to be exact. There's a little wiggle. Because all this is just like a spacer bushing for the top of the clamp for the threaded rod to work into. So we're just drilling this. You know, this is more or less a bushing or a spacer. So it doesn't have to be as exact as some things. And tell you something else I got to thinking. I'm gonna need some. I'm gonna look up some stuff. Hopefully I ought to be. I hate to drill it all the way through. Well, there ain't gonna be much use to not to drill it. So let's go ahead and drill it all the way through and be done with it. All right, guys. Hopefully that'll work for you there. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I used a pretty big nose radius, so I need a little bit of a relief in this. So I'm going to take my cutoff tool, just a little higher RPM, and let it just face the edge down, and then I'm going to cut the relief out. That way I have a little relief in it. I'm not going to do much, and I get down there close to the bottom, I'll take the power feed off and just manually feed it. So, because all I'm going to do is just touch it. I'm not going to go deep. There ain't a lot of wall here, so once I see that the cutoff tool is touching, right there, that's plenty good enough. Back it off about around. That's just enough to take that radius edge out of this. Okay, we're going to cut her off now. I could probably go a little faster. Let me just do that. I think I can go up to there. try 200. Let's see how 200 is going to work first. That'll work. 200 will work. I do a lot of my speeds by guessing, by gosh, anyway. So, and so, like I say, this I'm gonna have to. Well, you know, there's one thing I just forgot to do while I'm doing this. Just got dawned on me. It's a lot easier now. Sorry. I'm gonna probably turn this over, chuck it up, take a like face cut, just clean it up on this other side anyhow. So, anywho. Still dropped it. How you like them apples? Okay. All right, I'm facing it off right quick. You can't really see it from the angle I've got you at there, because it's, yeah, you can. I'm just going to face it off and stick the deburr tool in there and take the file straight to the corner. I always file left-handed, even though I'm right-handed. I never have like reaching over the chuck. So we'll show you what we got here in a second. Okay, this is my original that I'm using on the saw fixture. This is the new one for the new saw fixture. This isn't something that's got to be perfect. And I know I'll probably catch hell over this a lot, but really, for something is, this is just kind of going to be an eyeball deal to put a couple holes in this. So instead of me grabbing and having to reuse 3 or 4 center finders and such stuff as that, I'll just kind of just do it this way. So that way I got a center that's pretty close. I mean, it's not perfect, obviously. If you was trying to do an alignment job, you would not want to do this, but for this clamp, for what I'm going to use it for, you know, you can see with the camera angle, it's pretty dang close. I mean, and that's all that really matters for what we're doing, is we're just going in here and we're setting the position of, say, basically, and see, this is a 5/16 drill, so it's 3/12, so half of 3/12 is 155. Yeah, 3/12, yeah, 155 would be close enough. Again, this is not to be exact. We're just going to put 2 holes in this. So I'm just trying to get us positioned of something that will look pretty close. Do a quick sanity check, make sure that looks good, and call it at 0. Now I'm gonna measure this and do the math, and we'll figure out where I want to stick these 2 holes. All right, excuse me. Here we go. Can you see? There we are. All right. I'm just going to go in here, and I'm not going to use a center drill. I'm just going to do like, spot it like that right fast. Put the hole in it, and we'll tap it out. This is a fairly mild. The other clamp that I'm using on the other fixture, I have 3 holes in it. And what I discovered after I made the thing, or done it, this is actually a clamp that I bought. It's actually got Bridgeport on it. And it's made, I picked it up in a lot of tooling. I got Tom and Michael and us went to a guy who bought somebody out and had a lot of tooling, and this is some of the stuff I picked up. And I've got a couple of thick parallels in the process too. All right, hold on just a second. Okay. That's a little faster, I like it. There we go. We're going to get ready and we'll power tap. This is nothing but a piece of mild steel, by the way, so it's not no real big deal here, the power tap. And this spiral fluid will just eat it right up. And I'll just move it over another. I'll just add to this number, move it over, put my 2 holes in it, and I'll be done with this one. I'll chamfer this off out after I take it out of the machine because of the stroke stuff that I need. So I'm not going to bore you drilling the second hole. I promised you I wouldn't, but I changed my mind. One of the things that I found out, and I'm going to say this, it's no disrespect to other creators or whatever, but you see these guys, these fancy eagle oilers, you don't have to have an eagle oil. If you need this one here, I think it's just I picked it up at auction. I don't know, I think it may be a Craftsman or a whatever. You see me use it when I'm knurling on the lathe and stuff. So my point is, you don't have to have the eagle. You can have these. They work just as well. So let me get this hole drilled. We're going to move on to the last operation. I just lined this up rough. Again, this doesn't have to be perfectly accurate because all this is going to do is hold a piece of steel down and saw. So now we're going to put 4 equally spaced holes on this plate. I've already got the DRO set up. I'm driving it over right now. And we'll drill the first one. And we're going to put, like I said, there's going to be 4 equally spaced. I've done more in the last plate. Again, this is just a learning experience. And I learned that I really didn't need as many. So all right. Again, I'm not going to, I don't, if it walks a little, it's fine. You can notice if you hit it a couple of times with a pretty good point, it won't walk. And again, this doesn't, if it walks a couple of 3,000ths either way, it's not the end of the world. Because all we're doing here is just, again, creating a place for a clamp to ride. This doesn't have to line up with anything and any of that stuff. So, why, that just saves a bit of time. And, this is just a piece of, I'm assuming it's a piece of A36 structural steel. Tom had this little piece and I went down and got it from him. So, that's what we're doing here. And this is just I always saw this, you've seen it, this is basically, and this is a simple little fixture for your saws. Now, unlike the other fixture that I welded the stuff to earlier, I'll have to deburr these and probably go back through this again, but with this amount of stroke and stuff, and only deburring one side of it, you still basically almost have to retap the holes. So there we go. One down. Several more to go. I'll bring you back when I'm done. Okay, I'm going to do a little detail on this saw fixture, kind of take it apart to show you pieces of it, and we'll have to get this together. See, basically the adjustment foot this is all simple stuff. It's this threaded rod with a bolt on the end for it to ride on, another piece of all thread with a nut, and then there's a little spacer that fits in this clamp. And the reason why is this because this is the clamping that I've had, so that's why I made all that. Both of these fixtures are alike. This one is just made out of a flat piece of steel, as you see, so you can just lay flat stock right flat on it, clamp it small pieces. So this is this is going to be what I call the flat fixture to go along with the other one that you've already seen, and you've seen it here in the end. You'll see towards the end of the video where we've got the other pieces to it. So, you know, that's just a simple something you can make. You see how hard it was. If you don't have a clamp like I have, you can always just take a piece of steel and make you a clamp. I would advise you to slot it on one end. And if I was making this clamp, and I will tell you this, if I was making this clamp, I would have made this the right width. Since I had this clamp, I'm just repurposing it, and it's not really good for a table clamp without a riser or something on it anyway. So in my case, I just bought these and I just repurposed them. So I hope you enjoy that. Right, there's my saw fixtures up, and this is the one I've had for a while. It was in a previous video. This is the one we finished up today, and then we've also got the camera mount that's going to be in this video. So I'll get it over here too, and we'll have it all set here. I hope you enjoyed this presentation today's video. I do this for your enjoyment and to share. You might sneak up and learn something from me. You know, I know there's more than one way to skin a cat. This is just how I skin mine sometimes. With that being said, I hope you realize these are always copyrighted productions of James Dedman, Saw Logs Plastic Hubs, for your enjoyment, education, and entertainment on YouTube. The other thing that I want to remind you is our channel's getting close to that 1K mark. We need a few more. We probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 and something people, I think, the last time I looked. Maybe somewhere in that neighborhood, about 150, I think. So I want you to subscribe if you hadn't already. And if you're already a subscriber and you know someone else who watches machining YouTube videos, turn them on to me. I sure would appreciate it. You can just tell them there's this crazy old man down there in North Carolina that gets out in the backyard and plays around since he's retired and makes all kind of cool stuff. I would really appreciate that. The other thing I'd appreciate is my loyal listeners and commenters. That really makes me smile every time I put out a video and I get comments. And I try to interact back with the subscribers and the commenters. You don't have to subscribe to comment, but you know, I'd appreciate both. And while we're on the subject of subscriptions doesn't cost you anything. You can subscribe to this channel and you will not get no emails, you will not get no robocalls, and so therefore it's kind of a painless experience. So become part of the family and interact. With all that said, I truly appreciate each and every one of you taking a slice of your day to sit down in YouTube and watch my humble videos. I do this because I enjoy it. I don't do this for no financial enrichment. So I hope you get some enjoyment out of it, because that's what really make me smile. Till that next video I produce out here in the shop, y'all all have one wonderful day and a wonderful week. And we will see you in that very next video. Have a great day.